Hello, my friends. This is Rabbi Aharon Dobinsky coming to you today from the holy city of Yerushalayim in the beautiful state of Israel. When I was a kid, about 1,000,000 years ago, yes, we had television in response to all the grandchildren who say, "Did you have television when you were a little boy?" Yes, we had television. We also had a thing called the Cold War going on at that time, and it was a situation that was very tenuous between the United States and the communist countries of the world. Any day, a major war could break out, and we had to be aware of it. So every once in a while you're watching something on TV, and yes, I was not Jose Batshuva back then. I was a conservative Jew. I watched TV, so this is what I get. Every once in a while, I get this siren on the TV, and the picture would go away, and all it would be like this target in the middle. And at the end of the siren, they put back, before they put the TV back, they say, "This was a test. This was only a test. Had this been a real emergency, we would have then notified you where to go, what to do, and how to handle it." Basically, I mean, I don't remember the words. It was 60 years ago. So, but anyway, that was the idea of the test. So here we are today, and we have this coronavirus out there, and everybody's panicking. It has shut down the world. You know, there was a story, an old midrash from years ago, where one of the great kings said to a great rabbi, "You know, your God is very limited. He can only cause problems and disasters with water." And so, in order to answer that, Hashem sent a mosquito that flew up his nose, buzzed around his brain until he went crazy. So, that was a little thing. Today we have a coronavirus. It's called the coronavirus, and I'm going to get into that in a minute also. And the coronavirus is microscopic. You can't even see it without a microscope. You can't even see it. You don't know it exists except for its symptoms. And what symptoms of that is the dry hacking cough, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We need to go into that. God knows it's been on the radio waves, the social media, so much you really can't miss it. If you really want to know, tune in. They'll tell you all the things you need to feel so you can feel like, you really got it. Or you really, conversely, don't got it. In either case, it's an interesting thing. Let's start with the fact that it's called a coronavirus. Corona. What is corona? Well, in Latin, corona means crown. And who holds the crown? The biggest crown, the heavyweight crown of the universe? The King of Kings, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He has the crown. It's almost like he's saying, yeah, I did this. And I did it for a reason. And if you want to discuss it, come talk to me. Come see me. Come be close to me, and we'll discuss it. That's what it's like. So a friend of mine asked me the other day, well, if it's like that, why doesn't he just open the heavens and say, "Hey, people, you're messing around down there. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing down there. So I'm going to give you this little fun thing. Deal with it. And if you start coming back to me and doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're doing the right things, then I'll take it away from you." But regardless, no matter how you look at it, everything, we know this from before, everything that is, was, or ever will be comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It all has a purpose. Say that again. It all has a purpose. By the way, the purpose is not to destroy mankind. And that purpose is always for our ultimate best, which is hard to see when there's all these horrible reports about people dying here and people dying there and people dying all over the place. But do try to keep things in perspective. In the United States so far, there have been 2,000 reported cases, tested cases, where they've actually had the virus. You can compare that to the United States, where this same year, there have been 4 million cases of the flu reported, 200,000 of which went to the hospital for it, and over 20,000 of which never came out of the hospital. They succumbed to the flu. So if you want to get concerned about something, that's something to be concerned about. Understand that the precautions for both are very similar. Keep your hands washed. Be smart. Stay away from people who are coughing. People who seem like they may be ill. Stay away from them. But back to the question, why doesn't Hashem just tell us? Why doesn't he just tell us? Well, there's templates for this. Remember, we've talked about this from the beginning of time. There have been tests. Adam Rishon, there was a test. Do not eat from the tree. He ate from the tree. Look what happened. Instead of immortality, humans were relegated to a lifestyle that terminates after so long. Much shorter now than it used to be back then, but it does terminate. Then you had Avraham Avinu. He had a nisayon, sacrificed your only son Isaac. He passed his nisayon. He passed the nisayon, and he moved forward. And because of that, Hashem has supported him ever since. And Moshe Rabbeinu, when he went up to get the 10 Commandments and brought them down, and saw the people were parading around a golden calf. Hashem had already told him to expect this, but he saw it for his own eyes. He crashed the tablets. Why? Because if they were crashed before he gave them to them, they weren't yet bound by them. The wedding, in essence, had not yet taken place between the children of Israel and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And because of that, they couldn't be held responsible for them, so he broke them. Actually, it says in many of the Midrashim that they were too heavy for him. He couldn't hold them anymore, telling me that this also came from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, understand there's also there that we need to understand about the people and the composition of people. We have humility, which is a main component of being a human being and a main component in humanity's continuation to go on. Who are the three most humble people? Well, you can start with Avraham Avinu, who said, I am only dust and dirt. That's pretty humble. And then you have David HaMelech, who's also very humble, said, I'm not even a man, I'm just a worm. Ooh, wow. That was also pretty humble. But Moshe Rabbeinu, like in everything else he did, excelled in his humility when he said, what am I? Couldn't even discuss what he was. Couldn't even fathom what he was and what he had to do. All of these people also had tests. David had his tests. He was pursued by King Shaul for how long? And it was very difficult for him to live. It was very difficult for him to do what he needed to do, which was to become the king and to lead Israel the way it needed to be led. Understanding, however, that he was replacing a tremendous tzaddik. Now, for all of Shaul's problems, for all of the things that he did wrong, and for the most heinous crime of not killing the king of Amalek, he was still a tremendous tzaddik. He was a great chacham. He had a tremendous amount of knowledge, so much so that sometimes he used his knowledge instead of Hashem's knowledge. He didn't kill the head of Amalek. Because he was convinced by one of his generals not to do it. He didn't kill all the animals because he was convinced by one of his generals that some of them might be Gilgulim. And so he took it upon himself to make the decision when he was told, specifically, kill them all, men, women, children, kings, sheep, goats, cattle. He didn't do it, though, and he should have. Well, along the line of Nisayon, along the line of tests, is coronavirus. Corona, a crown. The king himself has put this upon us so that we would pay attention, to let us know we are not going the right direction. We need to be going the correct direction, and until we do that, we're going to have problems. And this is his main problem for right now. Look what happened. The king who had the mosquito fly of his nose, it ruined his life. He went crazy, and it ruined him. Look what this has done to us. It has literally stopped the world. No travel, no leisure time activities, no gatherings, small weddings, tiny gatherings of people. At most, it has stopped life on the planet Earth as we know it. It's a test. What do we do now? We go looking for the cure. Nothing wrong with it. That's fine. We go looking for a vaccine. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Have we forgotten something? Let's see. What have we forgotten? No. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We haven't come back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and said, we're sorry for what we've done. We have messed up tremendously, and we're going to try and fix it as best we can immediately. All of us, as much as possible. That's what we forgot. That's what we need to do. And sadly, sometimes I look on social media and I think we're actually being pushed to this point by the people who aren't even Jewish, telling us we need to pray. And they're right. We need to pray. We need to ask forgiveness. We need to say, Hashem, I know you gave this to us for our own good. Why is it for our own good? because it's a test. If we can get past it and we can pass the test, we can go on, we can thrive, we can survive, we can be the people that Hashem put us here to be. We can do the things we are meant to do, and we can live the lives we were meant to live. Everybody have a great week ahead. Remember, let's make our lives count. Let's make the things we do count. Let's be the people Hashem wants us to be and make this thing go away. Be well, my friends. All the best. God bless.